Hello there, welcome to Tarot to a T. This is going to be a reading for October 2022 for the sign of Gemini. If this is your first time, welcome Gemini. And if you are returning, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you, I really do. Okay, shall we get started? Let's go ahead and ask for the information that Gemini needs to know for October 2022. Oh, I forgot to mention, I apologize for being late. I have been out of town, and I got most of the readings done before I left, but I had a few that I could not squeeze in. So I'm making it up to you now, and I appreciate your patience. Whoa. We'll take those two cards, but not the whole freaking deck. Maybe we just needed a big mix-up here. You know what? Let me go ahead and shuffle. Since I had it kind of in the perfect position for shuffling. Okay. What advice can you give Gemini? After giving this awesome message, what advice can you give Gemini? Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and get started. See what's hopping for you. 4 of spades. So your home life is looking pretty stable and secure here. This is actually a more noteworthy thing to say about this is it looks like you just came out of a circumstance of stress, not necessarily in the home life, but it could be. This is the card that talks about experiencing some kind of stress relief and things just kind of being more settled at home. 6 of spades, whatever occurred was part of your destiny and was fated. If you're on the spiritual path, this is part of your life script. This is your soul contract. This is what you were here to learn, what you're, or part of what you're here to go through to achieve certain knowledge and experience. 6 of spades also talks about opportunities and other options being available to you in the course of things. Wow, you got a lot of spades going on. Gemini, you got some heavy stuff here. I'm not gonna lie. 10 of spades talks about, well, this could be the previous situation or circumstance that was causing you a lot of stress. This is a significant loss. It could be downright devastating, whatever this was. In some cases, it talks about someone passing away. It could be the loss of a major job or career opportunity. It could be losing your home, or a major breakup, like a divorce. Any of those things. I'm not picking up on what exactly it is, except that I do see some stress relief in your home life. So I don't know. Maybe you lost your home recently. If you were unfortunately a part of one of those terrible hurricanes that just came to Florida, for example, I kind of just got a glimpse of that. So anyway, if that doesn't fit your situation, don't take it. You know, throw it out, ignore it, whatever. But I just kind of got a glimpse of that. Okay, we also have some kind of major completion here with the 10 of hearts. You're actually headed towards, or you're experiencing true happiness and celebration in your life here. With this 10 of hearts, it talks about, honestly, happiness. I can't expound on it anymore. Happiness and joy is what it is. No grief here. Even though this 10 of spades, yeah, you went through some major loss. It looks like you are on the path, or you're experiencing this, but I do want to talk about this black and white joker energy. This is things being kind of up in the air. It's also about, well, this is also the Fool card in traditional tarot. So if you know anything about the Fool energy, the Fool is a little naive. They don't see what's coming. So the naivety is not just about you being inexperienced or dense. I don't want to use a word to offend you in any way, but it's also just being unaware. Like, we can't be aware of everything. So don't take it personally. It's just that something you're not seeing. Possibly this great happiness. Maybe that's why it came out together. You just weren't aware of how much happier you were going to be, how much more joy there was going to be, how much more celebration in your life. But it does talk about still things being unsettled with this Joker energy. So let's go ahead and take a deep dive into this and ask for another card, which just flipped out in front of me. Now the sevens here are about internal experience, and with this one, again, we kind of have this dark energy. So hold on, I'm just kind of getting some information here. This is kind of not too clear because you have all this dark energy with the Four of Spades. Well, the Four of Spades talks about stress relief, but Ten of Spades especially, and fate honestly can be bitter. You know, things that are fated and destined can be bitter. It's not necessarily all roses and unicorns, right? It's being dealt a lesson that could be damn hard to go through, you know, but it's necessary, right? That's what it's about. I'm getting the feeling that you're not at this Ten of Hearts. That's why maybe you're sitting there going, what the hell? That has nothing to do with me. Again, full energy. The full energy. You're not aware that this is going to lead you to ultimate happiness. Whatever has transpired, looks like you're in a bit of a reprieve, and this Seven of Clubs talks about feeling trapped. That's why I had to go down that storyline and kind of explain why I'm thinking you're not in this Ten of Hearts. You're feeling trapped. There's some kind of feeling of confinement. Literally like being a prisoner in some situation. Something's not going somewhere. If you were, for instance, in the hurricane and you lost your home or you lost everything, you know, I could certainly see how maybe at the moment you're feeling some stress relief because you're put up somewhere, somebody has taken you in, but it's temporary. Yeah, ultimately you feel trapped, and it's devastating, traumatic. I went through not a hurricane, but, well, actually I have been through a hurricane, but not directly. I was on the outskirts, and we lost power for like a week. But I was in a tornado, and a tornado in some ways is much more devastating because it kind of comes out of nowhere and hits you and turns everything upside down for months. For months, things were not normal. A feeling of just you can't get out of it, you know, trapped. Again, a major card of completion. Wow. So you got 3 tens out here. Whatever you went through was huge. It was huge, Gemini. Because it's wrapped up 3 major cycles in your life here. Well, I'm going to say the Ten of Hearts is something you haven't quite mastered or encountered. But that's where you're headed. With this Ten of Spades, that's pretty much the lowest of the low. Doesn't get much worse. It's just a period of grieving and mourning. Well, this Ten of Clubs here talks about changes for the better that involve travel. And the travel is always for a good reason. So it's not like being forced out of your home, for example. It's not like, oh, I have to leave this area because there's this big, humongous, horrible hurricane. It's not like that kind of travel. It's literally traveling for good reasons, unexpected travel, being invited to go somewhere. But it's always a message of good news. So perhaps whatever you've endured here, poor Gemini, you're about to have your time free that you can travel, for example. It's going to create opportunities. Again, I'm looking at the Six of Spades about opportunities and options being available to you because of the experience you're going through. Could involve this travel. Whoa. And it's funny, I just put it down on the Seven of Clubs. So Seven of Clubs is feeling trapped, like a prisoner. Well, the Ten of Clubs is like the opposite of that. It's not being a prisoner. You can go anywhere you want. Let's see what else we can get out. Come out here for Gemini for October 2022. Maybe that's the payoff. Before I look at the King of Hearts here, maybe that's the payoff. This period of time where you felt trapped and confined, and maybe you literally were, it's going to pay off in the sense that you're going to be able to travel more after this period of time. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be your reward. Anyway, King of Hearts. So you might have somebody around you who's taking care of you like a father figure. This is a loving, can be a male energy. I don't read the genders on these cards. It's a somebody who represents kind of that loving fatherly energy. They have great control and authority. They're someone to look up to. They can give you great advice. Could also be a water sign, a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. I'm not sensing this is you. Like you could have a water sign in your chart. It could be you in that you're learning to take control of the situation that obviously was out of control in your life. Or it could be somebody taking care of you. I'm not getting a clear sense of that. Somebody helping you out. Or it could be your father. It could literally be your father. Somebody who's, in any sense, it's somebody who's strong. They have strength, resilience. They know what to do. They have a clear, they have a clear head about themselves. They know how to make decisions. Whoa. Two of Spades. This is a split. Usually with a person. Came out with the King of Hearts. It's possible you lost somebody with this King of Hearts. But I'm going to say that this card is usually about some kind of disharmony with somebody. Like you fell out. You had an argument. You had a fight. It's the opposite of being together with somebody, I can tell you that. And it's usually pretty permanent. It's not temporary. I don't know, maybe the King of Hearts represents somebody you had a falling out with, and maybe that's what led to this devastation. Maybe it's an ex. And you're feeling trapped maybe in that relationship. Maybe that's the feelings of confinement, like it wasn't going anywhere. Because that card does talk about relationships not going anywhere. And feeling trapped in those. Yeah, this could be that kind of storyline where you had a lot of stress around this relationship with this King of Hearts. So the King of Hearts could also represent somebody that you feel close to still. Because there's a heart involved, right? I feel like that's the other person now. But I do feel like there's like, okay, that's another storyline we're picking up. This is some kind of relationship that ended. Very significant relationship. Somebody very close to your heart. But you had to because you were feeling trapped. And you're experiencing some stress relief now because you are away from them and you're away from the situation. But the Ten of Spades does talk about, like I said, divorce. Yeah. It's going to lead to your ultimate happiness now. We can't forget that. Things are just kind of up in the air at the moment, and you're a little unaware of how this is going to change your life. Well, it's just fair to say that we're all unaware of how things are going to change our life when they happen to us. We're just, that's part of the veil of being a human in the 3D world. We don't know everything that's going to be revealed to us and how it's going to play out. Okay, let's look at your cards of advice. Three of Clubs. So you're still going through a little bit of struggle here with this Three of Clubs. It does involve a third element or person. It's basically about fight and struggle, though. Maybe you're fighting over property. Maybe you're fighting over money. Nine of Clubs. You have completed something in the course of things, though. Well, we saw the 310s come out, major completions there. This is talking about feeling like you're in the place of contentment and you've achieved something by exiting the situation. That's what I'm hearing. This card, I'll be honest, sometimes it talks about job changes and raises and promotions. I don't think this is a job situation. I just think that you've kind of felt like you got a promotion because you got yourself out of maybe this situation with this King of Hearts, who was the father of your children, for example. But you were feeling trapped in that situation. You couldn't bear it anymore because you do have this permanent split here with the Two of Spades. We won't forget that, and there's still struggle going on. But you are feeling satisfied in some way. Queen of Spades. Now, this could be you, Gemini. I won't lie. This is an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Queen of Spades has some authority and power on her own. Does not have to be female. But she also holds back. She doesn't tell people what she's thinking or planning, so she has a little bit of a mischievous side to her. Can be a little bit malicious energy, but all in all, this is about keeping things to yourself. It's very likely you're being advised with the cards of advice. This is where it was, to keep things to yourself, your plans. Maybe you have some emotions floating around in there that you don't particularly need to let out to the public because they're destructive and it will only hurt you in the long run. That kind of thing. Queen of Hearts, yes. This is ultimately, this is a divorce. This is you. So the reverse, the cards can be reversed. This could be the male and the King of Hearts can be the female, or this can be the female and the King of Hearts can be the male, but you're on opposite ends of the layout here. And I think ultimately this is where you want to be, because we just talked about the Queen of Spades energy. This is the energy you want to embody. She's loving. She's got some wisdom about her. She's a mothering figure. She's nurturing. She's got that soft but yet firm authority and power about her. She's got a lot of power. Don't underestimate the Queen, right? Yeah, I think this was a major, like, long-term relationship, a marriage, probably children involved. Because I'm looking at this Three of Clubs saying, well, that's where the struggle is. That's where the fight. I mean, they may not be little kids, like toddlers, or they could be all over 18, but they're still going to be like, how do you divide up time and assets and energy, and especially if some of them are still living at home because they're off at college, but they need a place to live, that kind of thing. Gosh. Four of Clubs, though. You got this stability and security at home still with this Four of Clubs. Again, this talks about being very stable and content with where you are. Things are very balanced. I suspect, because it's come up twice about stress relief and stability at home, that probably wasn't always the case. So let's see what else of advice we can pull out for Gemini. Eight of Diamonds, nice. This is nice. This is about some kind of return on investments. This is the entrepreneurial card too. If you're thinking about, now you're free from this relationship, you can pursue something you've always wanted to pursue on your own, like some kind of business. I can relate to that, actually. It's funny, when you're involved with somebody, it's like so much energy goes into the relationship, even if it's a good relationship. It's hard to nurture and to take care of a relationship and pursue your own interests at the same time. I think it is. Unless it's a particularly healthy relationship where both people are kind of doing the same thing. It always seems like if you're pursuing too much of your own interest, the other person gets, I don't know, ripped off. And that's where trouble starts, right? Somebody feeling they're not a priority, for example. So anyway, not to go off on a tangent, but if you are thinking of going into business, this does talk about success and abundance and some kind of financial stability in the future as well. That's why perhaps you're able to put more energy into an existing business. I'm also hearing that. Okay, let's see what else we can do for advice. Whoa, we got another 4. Freaking, do we have all the 4s? No, we got, this is the 3rd one. Yeah, you're feeling very nice and cozy and relaxed in your home life, which is fantastic. This is also about feeling connected. This is not necessarily being well, it can be alone, but not feeling lonely. You actually feel loved and supported in some way. Maybe by outside friends, or maybe you're in a roommate situation now, or you're living with other family. You have that support around you. Everything is cozy and cool in your home life. Very stable. So if I was to point at the pinnacle of this advice here, the most important element, I think it's about, I really feel like this is where you're at now, Gemini. You're holding back and you're kind of dark. You got some dark energy wrapped up with this. This is the only card up there, though. Otherwise, you're feeling very content, but there's still a bit of struggle in some sense with the other person, or maybe within yourself, honestly, like with this. But ultimately, I think this is where you want to be. You want to go back into this loving, nurturing energy, which I think is your more natural state, because it is you. It is your card. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, your financial future looks good. Your home life. Did I mention your home life is like stellar? Well, it is, if you didn't already realize that. But I think the key is to transform out of this spades into this. I'm hearing the analogy of like a butterfly coming out of the cocoon kind of thing. Like you need to blossom into this loving queen energy. However that pertains to you, okay? I think I'm going to leave it there, Gemini. I'm not sensing a urgent need to keep going with this. But thank you for joining me. If you want to see when the next reading comes out for mid-October, should be in the next couple of weeks, go ahead and hit subscribe and notifications. Hit the like button if you liked the video. I hope it helped. And take care until I see you again.